In the year 2345, humanity found itself on the brink of extinction. The alien alliance, known as the Zalarians, had been slowly conquering planet after planet, and Earth was their next target. The Zalarians were technologically superior, and their fleet outnumbered Earth's defenses 100-1. Humanity's only hope lay in the hands of a small group of scientists and soldiers who were determined to defy the odds. Dr. Elena Reyes, a brilliant scientist, had been working tirelessly on a revolutionary new defense system. "We don't have much time," she said, her voice filled with urgency as she briefed the team in the underground bunker. "This system can disrupt their communication and weaken their shields, but it's untested. We need to install it on the orbital defense platform and hope it works." Captain Alex Mercer, the leader of the defense squad, nodded. "We'll make it happen, Doctor. Our survival depends on it." As the team prepared for their mission, they knew the risks. The Zalarians would detect their activity and respond with overwhelming force, but they had no choice. It was either fight with everything they had or face annihilation. In a flurry of activity, the team launched the mission. The tension was palpable as they approached the orbital platform. The vastness of space, usually silent and serene, was now a battleground. Zalarian ships patrolled the area, their sleek designs glinting ominously against the backdrop of the stars. "Activate the jammer," Elena commanded, her fingers flying over the console. As the system came online, the Zalarians' ships began to falter, their movements becoming erratic. "We're getting through," Captain Mercer shouted, his face set with determination. "All units, engage!" The battle that ensued was fierce. Earth's fleet, though smaller, fought with unparalleled bravery and determination. For every ship they lost, they took down 2 of the enemies. It was a desperate struggle, but humanity's spirit burned bright. Back on Earth, people watched in awe and fear. The skies lit up with the flashes of battle, each explosion a testament to the fierce fight taking place above. Families huddled together, praying for their loved ones, for their world. In the midst of the chaos, a transmission crackled through. "This is Admiral Khazar of the Zalarians. Surrender now, and we may show mercy." Captain Mercer responded without hesitation. "This is Earth. We do not surrender. We fight for our survival." The hours dragged on, each moment feeling like an eternity. But then, a breakthrough. The Zalarian fleet began to retreat, their ships faltering against the unyielding assault of Earth's defenders. "We did it," Elena whispered, tears of relief streaming down her face. "We actually did it." As the remnants of the Zalarian fleet retreated into the depths of space, a cheer erupted across the globe. Humanity had faced the impossible and emerged victorious. The cost had been high, but Earth had won its right to survive, to thrive. The war was far from over, but this battle had shown that humanity, against all odds, could win. And as long as they had that spirit, that determination, there was hope. Elena and Mercer, along with their team, knew that the fight for Earth's future had just begun. But they also knew that as long as they stood together, they could face any challenge that came their way. In the aftermath of the battle, Earth's cities were a mix of jubilation and somber reflection. The losses were heavy, but the victory had instilled a newfound hope among the people. The streets were filled with celebrations, yet there was an underlying awareness that this was just the beginning. Dr. Elena Reyes and Captain Alex Mercer were hailed as heroes. They found themselves at the center of a media frenzy, but their focus remained on the next steps. In a secure meeting room, they gathered with other key leaders to plan their strategy. "We've bought ourselves some time," Elena began, her voice steady despite the exhaustion that lingered in her eyes. "But the Zalarians will regroup. We need to be ready for their return." General O'Neill, a veteran of many battles, nodded. "Agreed. Our first priority should be to bolster our defenses. We need more ships, more weapons, and better technology." Mercer leaned forward, his expression serious. What about allies? Are there any other civilizations out there that would be willing to stand with us against the Zalarians? Elena sighed. It's a possibility, but finding and convincing them will be a challenge. The Zalarians have a reputation that instills fear across the galaxy. At that moment, a young lieutenant entered the room, her face pale. "Sir, ma'am, you need to see this." She led them to the communications room, where a holographic message was playing. It showed a Zalarian commander, his expression cold and unforgiving. "People of Earth," he began, "you may have won this battle, but do not be deceived. This is far from over. We will return, and when we do, we will show no mercy." The message ended, leaving a heavy silence in its wake. Mercer clenched his fists. We need to prepare for the worst. Over the next few weeks, Earth's efforts were focused on rebuilding and strengthening their defenses. Scientists and engineers worked around the clock to improve the defensive system that had given them their first victory. Factories churned out new ships and weapons at an unprecedented rate. Meanwhile, Elena and Mercer embarked on a diplomatic mission to seek out potential allies. They traveled to distant star systems, meeting with leaders of other civilizations who had either faced the Zalarians or heard of their tyranny. Convincing them to join the fight was not easy. Fear and distrust were rampant, but Elena's impassioned pleas and Mercer's unwavering determination began to sway opinions. In one such meeting, they encountered the Vexari, a technologically advanced species that had suffered greatly at the hands of the Zalarians. Their leader, High Chancellor Varak, listened intently as Elena spoke. "We understand your reluctance," she said, her voice filled with empathy. "But alone, none of us can stand against the Zalarians. Together, we have a chance to stop them, to protect our worlds and our people." Varak was silent for a moment, then nodded slowly. "You speak with great conviction, Dr. Reyes. The Vexari will stand with you. We will fight for our future and for yours." With the Vexari on their side, momentum began to build. More civilizations joined the alliance, bringing their unique strengths and technologies to the table. Back on Earth, preparations continued at a feverish pace. The combined fleet of the new alliance began to take shape, a symbol of hope and resistance against the looming threat. As the day of reckoning approached, Elena and Mercer stood together, looking out at the bustling activity of the alliance's headquarters. "We've come a long way," Mercer said quietly, "but the hardest part is yet to come." Elena nodded, her expression resolute. "We'll face it together, and we'll show the Zalarians that humanity and our allies will not be conquered." The stage was set for the next confrontation. The Alliance was ready to defend their worlds, to stand against the Zalarians with everything they had. The fight for survival and for freedom was about to reach its most critical moment. The unified fleet of the human Vexari Alliance stood ready, poised for the impending clash with the Zalarian armada. The tension was palpable, each pilot and soldier aware that the coming battle would decide the fate of their worlds. In the command center, Dr. Elena Reyes and Captain Alex Mercer reviewed the final preparations. The new defensive systems were online, and the combined fleet's weapons were primed. The Vexari's advanced technology had been integrated into the human ships, creating a formidable force. "We've done everything we can," Elena said, her voice steady. "Now it's up to them." Mercer nodded, his eyes scanning the array of holographic displays. "All units, report status." One by one, the commanders of various ships and battalions confirmed their readiness. The Vexari leader, High Chancellor Varak, appeared on the main screen. "Our ships are in position, Captain Mercer. We are ready to engage the enemy." "Thank you, Chancellor," Mercer replied. "Let's show them what we're made of." As the Zalarian fleet approached, the vastness of space filled with the ominous sight of their warships. The alien vessels were sleek and menacing, their dark surfaces absorbing the faint starlight. The Alliance fleet, by contrast, was a patchwork of different designs and technologies, a testament to the unity of diverse species against a common foe. The first wave of Zalarian ships opened fire, their energy weapons blazing through the void. The Alliance fleet responded in kind, their coordinated assault catching the Zalarians off guard. Explosions erupted across the battlefield as ships from both sides were hit. Elena watched the battle unfold, her heart pounding. "Activate the disruptors," she ordered. "We need to destabilize their formations." Technicians worked swiftly to deploy the disruptor systems. Moments later, a pulse emanated from the Alliance fleet, sending waves of interference through the Zalarian ranks. Their ships faltered, their movements becoming erratic. "Now's our chance," Mercer shouted. "All units, press the attack!" The Alliance fleet surged forward, taking advantage of the chaos. Human and Vexari pilots maneuvered with precision, their ships weaving through the enemy lines. The Zalarians, unaccustomed to such fierce resistance, struggled to regroup. In the midst of the battle, a distress signal came through. "This is the UES Valor. We're taking heavy fire, requesting immediate assistance." Mercer turned to Elena. "We can't lose them. Send reinforcements to their position." As the reinforcements moved to aid the Valor, Elena noticed something on the sensors. A massive Zalarian dreadnought was advancing, its weapons charging for a devastating strike. "We need to take that ship out," she said urgently. "If it gets through our lines, we're finished." Varick's image appeared on the screen again. "Leave it to us, Dr. Reyes. The Vexari will handle this." The Vexari fleet broke off from the main formation, converging on the dreadnought. Using their advanced weaponry and superior maneuverability, they targeted the weak points in the Zalarian ship's defenses. The dreadnought tried to retaliate, but the Vexari's coordinated assault was too much. With a final massive explosion, the dreadnought was destroyed. Cheers erupted across the Alliance fleet. "The dreadnought is down," came the call over the comms. But the battle was far from over. The Zalarians, though weakened, were still a formidable force. The fight continued, each side determined to outlast the other. Ships were lost and heroes were made as the Alliance pushed forward with unwavering resolve. Hours later, as the battle reached its peak, a breakthrough came. The Zalarians began to retreat, their ships falling back in disarray. The Alliance fleet, battered but victorious, held their ground. "We did it," Mercer said, his voice filled with awe. "We actually did it." Elena smiled, her exhaustion giving way to relief. "This isn't just a victory for us. It's a message to the Zalarians and the entire galaxy. We will not be conquered." As the remnants of the Zalarian fleet fled, a sense of triumph and solidarity swept through the Alliance. They had faced the impossible and emerged victorious, united by their shared determination and courage. But even as they celebrated, they knew the war was not over. The Zalarians would return, and the Alliance would need to be ready. For now, though, they could take pride in their hard-fought victory and the bonds they had forged in the heat of battle. With the remnants of the Zalarian fleet retreating, Earth and its allies took a moment to breathe and assess the cost of their hard-fought victory. The Alliance had proven that unity could overcome even the most formidable of foes, but the journey ahead remained uncertain. In the weeks following the battle, the Alliance worked tirelessly to repair and strengthen their fleets. Ships were salvaged and rebuilt, technologies were shared, and strategies were refined. The newly forged bonds between the different species grew stronger as they prepared for the inevitable return of the Zalarians. Dr. Elena Reyes and Captain Alex Mercer became central figures in the ongoing efforts. Elena continued her research, developing new technologies to give the Alliance an edge, while Mercer focused on military strategy and training. One evening, as they reviewed the latest reports, Mercer looked up at Elena. "We've come so far, but there's still so much to do. The Zalarians won't give up easily." Elena nodded, her expression thoughtful. "We need to keep pushing forward." If we can find a way to strike at the heart of their operation, we might have a chance to end this war for good. Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent transmission from High Chancellor Varric. Elena, Alex, we have intercepted critical information. The Zalarians are regrouping at a secret base in the Zeta Quadrant. If we strike now, we can catch them off guard and deal a significant blow. The Alliance leaders convened to discuss the plan. It was risky, but the potential rewards were too great to ignore. They decided to launch a surprise attack, hoping to cripple the Zalarians before they could mount another offensive. As the fleet prepared for the mission, the atmosphere was tense but determined. This was their chance to turn the tide of the war. Elena and Mercer joined the command ship, ready to lead the charge. The journey to the Zeta Quadrant was fraught with anticipation. Every member of the fleet knew the stakes. Upon arrival, they found the Zalarian base heavily guarded, but the element of surprise was on their side. "All units, move into position," Mercer commanded. "Wait for my signal to engage." Elena monitored the systems, her heart racing. "Disruptors are ready. On your mark, Captain." "Engage!" The Alliance fleet launched a coordinated assault, catching the Zalarians off guard. Explosions lit up the darkness of space as ships clashed in a fierce battle. The disruptor systems once again played a crucial role, destabilizing the Zalarian defenses and creating openings for the Alliance fighters. In the thick of the battle, Elena detected an unusual energy signature. "Alex, there's something strange about that central structure. It could be a command hub or a critical power source." Mercer didn't hesitate. "Target the central structure. Focus all firepower on it." The combined might of the Alliance fleet converged on the target. The structure resisted at first, its shields absorbing the onslaught. But the relentless assault proved too much. With a blinding flash, the central structure exploded, sending shock waves through the Zalarian ranks. The Zalarian ships began to falter, their coordination disrupted. Sensing victory, the Alliance pressed the attack, driving the enemy into full retreat. The once imposing Zalarian base was reduced to debris, a testament to the Alliance's determination and courage. Back on Earth and the Allied worlds, celebrations erupted as news of the victory spread. The defeat of the Zalarian base was a turning point, a beacon of hope in a war that had seemed unwinnable. Elena and Mercer stood together on the command deck, looking out at the stars. "We did it," Elena said softly. "This could be the beginning of the end for the Zalarians." Mercer nodded, a rare smile crossing his face. "We've shown them that we won't back down. No matter what comes next, we'll face it together." The Alliance's victory in the Zeta Quadrant marked a new chapter in the war. They had proven that unity and resilience could overcome even the greatest of threats. The road ahead would still be challenging, but with their newfound strength and resolve, they were ready to face whatever the future held. Subscribe to watch more amazing sci-fi stories.